How are you doing?
Oh, good. How are you doing, man?
Good.
How was your um, bait shop
Wait, let me
drink
ask
of
you
you?
this. Cece, 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, good. Because I plugged the mic into the phone, so I might have better audio on my end going forward. Okay, that's good to know.
that's cool. How was your bait shop rendezvous?
My friend, yeah, he wanted to go there. Francois, do you know about Francois, Cece?
Nope,
Ottawa,
not
Quebec.
really.
Oh, you've worked at French restaurants, right?
Yes,
So have you had anyone from Quebec?
Quebec, Canada.
Yeah.
No, I worked at Cafe Voila. They were from Fontainebleau,
Okay.
and then I worked at another French shop, La Cuisine, and they were from Paris.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
They're both in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
It's the craziest thing.
Yeah. That's crazy. From Paris to Albuquerque.
Yeah, and Fontainebleau to Albuquerque. So,
What part of? I've never been to Europe. So what part of France is that?
well, Paris is kind of central, and then Fontainebleau is about an hour away. I think it's north, but don't
Okay.
quote me on that. I don't really know. Yeah,
Yeah. He talks. God, I don't want to.
might be.
I don't want to say it.
He's a douchebag.
No. No.
I'm
You
just
think
kidding, dude.
so?
It's not. I don't know him, dude. I can't say that. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
rude.
I wouldn't go that
Yeah.
far, but He definitely. I think he is a nice guy, but he talks about like he talks about
He's just
he's
quiet.
different. He's very quiet, and he talks about sex a lot, like a lot. And he at 37, it's Did I just unplug my mic? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, he's constantly talking. He's like, "Hey, you want to go to this bar, this JD's?" I'm like, "Okay." And then because he's always talking about girls and this and that, and then we just kind of sit there and talk amongst ourselves. It's but he really wants, I think he wants a girlfriend, and he really seems to have an interest in talking to them, and he um he doesn't approach them or anything. And so at the very end, these two girls walked in, and he's like, "Oh, that one girl goes to my church." And I got the wrong, like, I thought I got the wrong one. And I'm like, "Oh, do you go to his church?" And it was the other one, and she's like, "No," and just turns her head the other way. And it happened to be the other one, and the one that went to his church was really nice. And I was like, "Yeah, he's from Quebec. He doesn't speak English that well. He says that you go to his church." So she came over and she talked to him for a second, and he's like, "Hey, should I have got her number?" And I'm like, "Well, now you know her, so now, like, the next time you can talk, like, now is the ice has been broken. Now you can talk to her again. You don't need to get her number because you see her at church. You might be able to get her number, like, don't you think that was the right move? Not to try to get her number that night. I mean, what do you think, Cece, or
Hmm.
Coach?"
I'm giving this to CC.
I don't know. Like, how are you supposed to answer that?
Well,
Honestly.
I mean, the question was kind of jumbled, but
Okay,
who
well, I
got her
apologize.
number?
Basically, the question is,
Who got
he
her
try
number?
should
Which?
should should he try to get her number? Like, he was second guessing the fact that he didn't ask for her number, and I
Oh,
said,
so
"Well,
it's him getting the number.
what?"
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't understand if you were trying to get her number
No,
or
no,
if
no.
he
I
was
wasn't
trying to
trying
get
to
the
get
number.
her number, but
Okay.
he was trying to. He was saying, "Oh, should I have tried to get her number?" Oh, when I say I mean he.
Well, he sounds okay. So he sounds insecure to me.
Yeah, a
And
little bit.
why not just ask for her phone number right there and then? They ran into each other. I don't understand. So,
I
He
mean,
should
wouldn't
probably
you?
wait until he sees her at church again. Just continue the conversation and just see where it goes, right?
sure, sure, why not? Either
Yeah.
way, it doesn't matter.
Oh, so it is
It
okay to ask for the
works.
number.
It doesn't
I
matter. Like that, it doesn't matter at all to
I
Huh.
me.
would have
So,
jumped. I would have jumped on the initial opportunity of like, this is okay. I know you from church, and now we're in a public situation, and we ran into each other. And I think I would have, even with you right in front of me, Doc. I would have said, you know, maybe I would have pulled her aside. Maybe like watched her for a second. Like, okay, when she's
Damn.
alone,
I'm not like that at
and then
all. So I got
but
this
then I
I
would.
totally wrong.
wouldn't. I would have
So
just been like,
this
"What's
is
your
me.
number? Let's hang out."
Yeah, I mean,
Shoot
this is
first.
me too going. I might walk away, but I might have been like, yo, wow, this is a cool coincidence. I like you. You're cool. Like, I would have gone straight in. I would have dove in and then
Totally,
got
Really?
my
I
heart
would
broken.
too.
And then got my
Like,
heart
don't
broken.
overthink it. Don't ever overthink it. Just
Just do
go
it.
and out.
So that's so interesting. I had a friend. Yeah, there was a girl I was interested. I can't even remember the context of the situation. And I had a friend. He was like go. He was like go slow, and that that's always been in the back of my mind. But I'm kind of like that to begin with. Things
Well, I
drag on.
also,
What's that?
well,
But you could.
I think if you go too slow, I mean, there's a balance, right?
Sure.
CC, there's a balance. Like, I had a friend that he spent $3,000 to take a course on how to talk to women. And I was like, are you out of your mind?
Did you
Like,
go to
just
grade
go to the
school?
bar. Just go to the bar, dude. Like, yeah, did you go to great? Just talk. Just talk. They're going to tell you what they
So,
think.
can I say something about this? I think
Please.
everyone has
Women-
their own nature about this, right? Like,
Yeah.
some people are bold, some people are
Did you want
not, some people are
just
shy,
that? You're good.
whatever.
Yeah, you're good. What's that,
Yeah,
CC?
so
Could you repeat
when
that?
you have a shy person, you take your time, right, Josh?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
then,
I didn't even kiss Dana for like 6 weeks. I didn't kiss Elena for about a month. I didn't
whoa,
have intimate relationships with Elena for like 6 months. It was hard. Don't get me, it was hard. We were sleeping in the same bed and not having sex. But I knew she was the one. I knew, and it was worth the wait, and it was. So, that was the
I'm
difference.
way more bold than you. What? That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
But I've had a lot of one night stands. I've had a lot of one night stands, and what the cool thing about a one night stand is like, as long as, because they can turn into crazy things. I've had a couple of them where it was like, all of a sudden she's in love and I was not, and vice versa. I was like, oh, we can make this work, and she was like, nah. That was cool, but thanks.
Interesting.
I think it goes either way. But if
Yeah.
you don't, here's the thing: if you don't go, you don't know.
You're a slut. Damn it.
But I'm a romantic too. I
It
mean,
doesn't sound like
I
it. I
think
mean, 6 weeks, 4 weeks. If it sounds like if you
No,
really
you
like
said
the
you had a ton
person,
of
you
one
wait.
night stands. You just said he had a bunch of one night stands. That makes him slutty.
Wow, what guy hasn't?
and what girl hasn't? I mean, clearly, unless you're homosexual, I mean, one night stands happen either way. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, the girl's a slut just as much as the. I think that kind of sucks connotationally, because just because a girl likes to fuck around doesn't necessarily mean she's a slut. She just likes to have
Or
sex.
that it's a bad thing, like a negative connotation.
Yeah, I mean, now if you're out there passing around STDs, I think you got a problem. But
What I don't like is so we love women like this. I'm like, oh, look, I've met you know, they're I've met very few of these women in my lifetime. But it's like, oh, this girl looks like, you know, she'd probably do something on the first night. This is incredible. And then all of a sudden she's talking to some other guy. And then she's with some other
yeah,
guy. And because
yeah.
that's how they are. Like they'll pull some other guy. Like they're talking to you right now, but they'll in a half a second they'll go to some other guy, and that's the problem with that. I mean, we think in theory it's great. Oh, this is going to be, um, you know, she's down or whatever, because she could just be as down with somebody else.
There's this really cool song that me and Josie have been listening to lately by Wax, and the line goes, she's real smart, she got a good head, she give good heart. And I love it because it's wordplay, but normally you'd hear it the other way.
Yeah,
You know, she gives
that's
good
good
head and
wordplay.
maybe has a good, but at the same, but the other line, like the chorus goes, he's like, um, I could never. She wants to love me, but I don't have time for that shit. You know, I don't have time to love her the way she wants to love me. And so the message to the song is really cool too. It's kind of a hip hop jumpy song, but you know me with music. But I'm just saying, like that goes both ways. You can either be the player or be the game, but you can't hate the game. I like that phrase too. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Well, I just think
And
with guys though, with guys, it's like if you like just shortly, let's say you're going out, you're at a bar, just like Francois and I were, and you start talking to a girl and it's going really well, and it's like this is going incredibly well. This is so great. Um, you're gonna stick with, especially if you're attracted to that girl, you're gonna stick with that. But these handful of girls, these two or three, four, maybe five girls that I've met in my lifetime that are game like that, but they'll also like 3 minutes, like you go to the restroom and then she's talking to some other guy, and it's going really well with him, and they're all of a sudden they're leaving together, and I'm what I feel is like they will, at least in that situation, they'll play the field more. Whereas a guy may play the field, but if he's locked into one that night, if he has it locked down that night, or at least he feels he does, he'll stick with that one. He's not gonna because it's so difficult, right? That you're not gonna be like, okay, I got this one. Now let me see if I can get this one over here. A guy will never do that. I don't care if it's
oh,
LeBron James, who Wilt Chamberlain, um, Lexington Steele, whomever it is.
I bet those guys are really
Doctor,
bold.
you just
I bet those guys
doc,
are really bold, so the girls don't leave.
What's
I
that?
think that's about the boldness of the man,
I'm sorry.
honestly.
well, so I keep interrupting, but I gotta let
Yeah,
you talk,
you're
CC. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, like I've been in that position when I was younger, where it was like where a guy would be talking to me and then he'd leave, but he wasn't acting fast enough. That another guy came up more bold, or he's more attractive, and I looked at that dude. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
yeah,
talking about. A guy's less likely to do that by a lot, I think.
you need to have confidence.
No, it's
Like the
not. It's
thing
not. It's
is
not. It's
all
not
about
confidence.
confidence. And
No,
that's
that's not what it is. It's going well with this person. So why do I need to look for another person? But this type of girl will they'll keep looking around and seeing, and they won't even be
okay.
committed for
Narrow
that
down
night.
some.
Let alone going forward. They won't even commit that night.
Uh, well, that's different. Like most of, I didn't do like the whole one night stand arounds, but like I also noticed like when I was younger and on the dating scene, I was more I was more attracted to the guys that were um pretty confident and like we go in and just be there with me. The shy ones kind of scared me a little bit. I thought they could be serial killers, or they like, you know.
And that's all it means is they're more so the ones that you deem as confident and that you're like more comfortable with are they probably have multiple partners, and they're probably maybe not the nicest or the best people, whereas the shy
No,
person,
no, not
I
at all.
mean,
Actually,
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
I
Stevens
don't know.
versus
Like,
Francois is a way better person than Stevens. I mean, I live with Stevens. He's a terrible person. Francois, yeah, he's constantly talking about sex and this and that, but at his core, I think he's a nice guy. He's a sensitive guy at his core. Stevens,
well, I'm
I
not
think,
saying
is like a
sensitive.
psychopath.
I'm not trying to compare like sensitivity and all that. I'm
No,
like
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking
the way
about who's
you
the
would
nicer.
actually.
I'm talking about who's the nicer person. You're saying that you're comfortable and you think the nicer person is the confident guy, and I'm saying it's the opposite. I'm saying the more sensitive, nicer person, the better person is the poor person that's more shy.
Oh, well, they might be shy in some ways, but they were they were willing to like speak to me like a human being
Yeah, because they have so much
in that
practice doing
situation.
it.
So yeah,
Um,
well, if you
and
have
they're
to
probably
practice that,
overall their
that's kind of
interest is
weird.
less. They have less of an interest, whereas the shy person might
It's
actually
weird
be
if you have to
more.
practice talking to people. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, can I jump in here? I think I have a good thought here. Of course, I think I do, right? But so I feel like Dr. Og, what you're saying is, I'm trying to correlate this on what CC's saying too. But okay, so the guy goes up, and I'm with you, Doc. Like, here's a great example. It's such a great story too. Me and one of my buddies, we used to go out, and we used to go intently to hook up with girls or meet girls, not hook up, but meet. And so we went to this fancy place. We dressed up, and we were practicing like pickup lines,
Okay.
right? A good pickup line. I used to use this one in college. I have never used it since, but did it hurt when you fell from heaven?
Oh God.
When was this?
Just so
When were we
cheesy.
doing this? How
I
old were
would
you?
have immediately walked away. Are you kidding me?
That one was in the dorms at Fort Lewis College. So
Mm.
I used that back
When you
then.
dressed up
But
with your
so
friend, when you dressed up, like, was that in college or when was that?
yeah. No, this is after. This was actually right before Elena died. This is like 2012, probably.
Okay.
I was going out with my buddy Ben, because me and Elena weren't together anymore,
Yeah.
and so we were at this place called Vintage. Doc, you could look it up right now if you're near the computer or on your. I guess you look on your phone, but Vintage Albuquerque is like this super high class lounge bar.
It's still around.
It's still there. It's off Paseo del Norte in Wyoming. Actually, CC, it's right by your house.
Yeah, I've been there.
Um,
I've been to Vintage.
I'm sure you had some assholes hitting on you too. So
Yeah,
Ben and I are.
So,
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I
I
heard
couldn't
that.
hear you. Sorry.
I heard that fucking line before there.
Oh,
They were
okay.
older.
That's funny.
All right.
God.
So here's the story. So my buddy Ben and I, who is now married with children, not to either of these girls that we met or any of the girls we met, and we never left with any of these girls. Ben looks over at me, and we'd been practicing for weeks.
Wow.
And even like he was one of the guys that was like reading books and like researching how to talk to women. And I'm like, dude, I was kind of like, I'd say I was the wingman in this situation, because I didn't really care. And so we're sitting at the bar, or like a cocktail table kind of thing, probably like you and Francois were tonight.
Yeah.
And there's two gorgeous girls next to us, and they're dressed up. It's a fancy place. They're in dresses and
Wow.
shoulders, no, just sexy. And he goes, I think I got one. So he looks over at him, he leans in a little bit, nice and smooth, and he says, who do you think lies more, men or women? And it was brilliant. It was brilliant because he got them talking, right?
Uh huh.
He got them engaged. I know your phone's ringing. If you have to answer, go ahead.
And of course, I want to thank you so much for calling the Hampton Inn Denver Tech Center South. This is Augie. How can I help you? Hi.
It's so great, Chris, because they can't hear us. So it's okay.
Okay.
But I have to wait for Og for this.
That's actually a good pickup line because it does engage. I'll give him that.
It engaged them. Well, and so it didn't even really engage us. So they started. I have to wait for Augie to get off the phone because I want him to hear this.
That was my manager.
Oh, are you okay?
Oh no.
She just said she needed me to get my trainings done tonight, which they kind of, they
Oh, you're almost.
blindsided me.
You got to be
They
like
blind,
halfway through. We'll get to that.
I'm like maybe 20% through, but
Whatever, you'll be fine.
yeah. It's just life,
Okay,
right?
so let's get back to
Yeah.
yeah. So let's get back to this. So my buddy leans in and he asks the girls, "Who do you think lies more, men or women?" And it's a great pickup line because it engaged them against each other. We didn't have to do anything at this point. We just sat back and kind of watched, and they argued. They were like, "Well, I think men and all that," and then they looked at
So
us and they asked,
you got
"We're
this
like."
whole thing going, where they're even arguing amongst each other. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was a really, I'd say almost brilliant interjection with them, or whatever you want, whatever the
It's
right
a
word is.
segue. It's a segue.
Segue kind of. And so they're talking and they're arguing, and the woman's like, no, I think, well, in this situation, and like they were going, and we're like, sweet, because we're right here. And it was so fucking awesome, dude. One of them looked back at us and they finally said, I think it was men, or no, it was women, whatever it was. And the girl looks at us and goes, what else you got? And we had nothing. Absolutely. Like, we were both like shocked. We didn't know what to do because we didn't have a backup plan. And we were just like, I mean, seriously, you want to talk about a turtle crawling back into its shell? That's what happened in that moment in public. We were both just like emasculated almost. It was just like shit.
Yep.
And then, like you said, I went out to have a cigarette. I think Ben followed me. We went back in, and here they are talking to some other douchebags. And we were like, what the fuck do they have?
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do. I remember working at this other Hampton Inn. This girl, like, so I come in for my shift 3 to 11, and my coworker had already been there. This 18-year-old kid, right? And there's some girl like in his face and like very talkative, chatty, very outgoing. And he's like, "Oh, he said something to me in passing. Is like, she's so great," or And then she keeps talking with us, and she's very outgoing and she's very friendly, and it's very unusual for a woman. And then somewhere along the line, she's like, She says, "You remind me of this actor I had a crush on. I can't remember who it was." But she's being very forward. But then all of a sudden, some guy, with like a stud, like uh thing in his chin, a piercing in his chin, kind of looking like Fred Durst or something. He comes down, and all of a sudden her attention is diverted to him. And then for some reason, I was up delivering something to a room, like 20 minutes later, and I hear him having sex. And I'm just saying, guys are less likely because it's so difficult. I think guys are like, if there's a girl that's paying attention, that she's in to him in the moment, they're willing to stick with that as opposed to still looking elsewhere. That's all I'm saying. But I don't think all women are like this. I'm talking about maybe women that are bipolar, or the women that you think are so, like, this girl's like down. This girl's like, she's you know she's not a prude like the rest of them. That's so great. She's not. She's so non-prudish. She's sexual, but she'll leave you in a heartbeat for another guy if she finds that interesting, or she just finds the situation better. It's like I probably could have sex with this guy as opposed to talking to this person that's working the front desk. That's all I'm
Can
saying.
I say
And I
something
think
as
I'm right
well
about that.
on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think a lot of men get so scared by women because they forget that we're actual people as well. Like women do that, but men do it too. It's not just women. So I think men get scared by women for who knows, like maybe it's like mother issues or whatever. But at the same time, it happens both ways.
Well, they don't want to be
It does.
rejected.
Well, yeah. So rejection goes both ways. Like that's the whole thing.
Well,
It
but the man
happens.
has to usually normally what happens is the man has to initiate.
Not necessarily.
Well,
I don't think
normally that's how
that's
it works,
always
though.
true. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
I think that women will initiate and then they'll read the situation. I think women have more intuition about it, perhaps. Maybe not all women, but I think it goes both ways.
Okay.
Like, let's be fair about it.
Okay.
I mean, I'll say,
I might be wrong.
you
I'm
know,
not saying I'm right about it, but like I know I've been in situations like that where I was interested in a guy and they saw a blonde and left.
Yeah, I guess so. It's
You
just I
know,
think Francois is a good-looking guy. I think he's a good-looking guy. He's interesting, and he's sitting there. He's talking to me, and I'm not so
he's
I'm
studying.
45.
He's
I'm
trying
not
to be
so
tough to
interested.
us,
I've been in
but
some bad situations, but he's treating me to some drinks, and I'm out there and I'm having a good time with him. But I'm just sort of observing these other tables, and I just see these other women. They're expecting men to. And this one guy approaches and sits down and starts talking with them, and they're expecting the guys to approach them, and if he doesn't
well,
approach
maybe they're
anyone,
not
then he's not going to
expecting
be
that at all.
successful,
Maybe
even
they're
though
just
he.
having fun. They're having fun being
You
with
want to
their
put?
friends. Like they're not
Thank you.
expecting that at all.
What?
They could not be expecting that at all. Maybe they're just having fun with their friends,
Yeah,
and they're
but
just
we've been
wanting
out
to
a
be
couple
there,
times.
hang out.
Yeah, and that's actually how I think of it. It's like no, they don't want to be bothered. They're having fun with their friends. They're out with their friends. They don't want to be bothered. But I've seen it.
Exactly.
But that's see that's how my brain works. But having been out, well, it did until I started going out with him, and this is a couple times now, and I've sat back and I've seen guys approach these tables. I've seen it a few times now, and a lot of times the girl they'll hey they'll entertain it. They might not go home with them, but the guy will come over and they'll have a conversation, they'll have a couple shots or whatever, and so they're entertaining the conversation. At the very
Yeah,
least,
they
they're
might be
entertaining.
just being polite, for all you know.
Well, so the one girl that I thought was the one because he's wanting to talk to someone, so he's like, oh, I go to church with her, so. And it's not for me. I'm like, okay, Francis, he's being a little shy, so I'm gonna it's not about me here, so I'm like, do you go to church with him? And she's like, no, and turns her head the other way. I'm like, okay, that's the response I'm used to getting. But it turns out it was the other one. He's like, no, it's the girl with the dark hair. It's her friend. So I'm like, oh yeah. So I went over and I started talking. Yeah, it's Francis. He says he goes to church with you, and she was totally cool. She came over and she had a couple minute conversation with him, and now he's broken the ice, and they've um so if he wanted to at least continue to talk with her, he's able to do that. I'm no expert. I'm the furthest thing from an expert on these things, but it's just sort of what I've observed um, over these few
Yeah.
times because he likes to go out and he likes to go to these bars and stuff. I mean, it's not really my thing, but it's been interesting.
Um,
well, I
I,
think
I
Dr.
think
Aga,
I don't think there's any expertise on it. If you approach women as people and not like this object you're going to obtain, they would change the situation. How about that?
Yeah, but
Does that work?
that's what it is though. I have to say
But it's
I
not.
disagree
But
with
you're
that
talking to me
because
right
if
now.
you're
I'm a
treating somebody
woman.
as a person, you're just gonna sit there. Like if I'm gonna respect a person, I'm just not gonna talk to them at all because I don't want to like think that I'm just valuing them. Like I'm not gonna like think that I'm just trying to. I don't want them to think I'm just trying to have sex with them or something. So I'm really just not gonna talk to them at all. But
Oh, I'm not saying this
you
about
see
you,
people doing it
Augie,
all the
at
time.
all. I'm not saying this about you. I'm saying this about Francois. He's taking a course to figure out how to talk to women
Who
instead
is?
of just seeing them as like a fellow being in the world. That's it.
No, no, Francois. I was talking about an
That was
old
his
friend from
friend.
10, 15
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah,
I
this is
wasn't
not
talking about
Francois. I don't
you.
even know Francois.
I
I
Francois,
was talking about
Francois not,
what Augie said earlier. I was just
but
saying, is a being in the world. So when you relate to somebody, you talk to them like a person and then move on from there. There's something there, great. If something isn't there, fine.
yeah, but
That's it.
if I'm respecting a
I
person,
wouldn't
I'm
think
not
it's
even gonna
women
even
there to
talk to
talk to
them.
men.
So there has to be
I'm
some sort of
saying, I wouldn't.
agenda. So maybe we kind of agree, but there has to be some kind of agenda.
I don't
Otherwise,
know if there needs to be an
if I'm
agenda.
treating somebody with respect and I respect this person, and I'm not gonna, then I'm just not even gonna talk to them at all because that's the most respectful thing to do. That's what being a true
Well, not if you
gentleman
want
is.
to like meet them and get to know them. Like there should be no agenda about it. So I disagree with you there.
Okay. Yeah, but that's not how
well,
it
so
So
works,
like,
though.
yeah, it does.
here's
I have a lot of
here's the
friends
thing.
that there is no agenda at all. Like we start talking
They're
and
not
we
going to talk
agree,
unless
and
there's
then
an
like, there are a lot of
agenda.
people I met that we didn't agree
There,
on.
there's always a game going on. There's always got to be an agenda.
No,
I think
I
that there's a
disagree.
simple thing here. Augie, like going back to those girls at the bar, I was hoping I might get laid that night, and maybe, and I'm a pretty polite guy, like,
You're a
but
very nice
Maybe make a
person.
friend. Hello.
but maybe we go on a couple more dates and we see what happens. I think that girl, after she went on to the next dude, like you've seen 1,000 times, that girl's going on to the next guy, and there is an agenda, and that girl's looking like, okay, well, does he have more money? Does he have a better job?
Okay.
Could he take care of me? I do feel like, and I'm gonna go out and say it on a limb. I know it's out there. I'm gonna say women are looking for stability and
Sure.
comfort and a little bit more being dependent, and men are looking to dominate, and that's
Okay.
just a natural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I see because I've seen it. I've been there, and I'm not trying to sound like a misogynist motherfucker,
No, it's not
but
that.
again, I'm just going.
I just
I
feel
do see that
I
happening, but I also see what Cece's saying and going, just go meet people and have fun. Like I make friends. I'm not trying to fuck everything in the world. If I was doing that, I'd have so many STDs, it'd be crazy. Um, like I'll go watch the Broncos game at Fiestas in a couple weeks against the Chargers because we're gonna beat their ass.
I guess I
And
would
then
like that. Maybe
No.
sorry to cut you
I'm
off. Go
going
ahead.
now.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go up the episode game.
well, no, I'm just saying, like when I go to this bar, I'm planning this 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks from now. I'm gonna go to this bar, and Cece, you might come and watch with George and Jose and me, but I'm going, and I hope that I might meet someone there. Like I hope that
There you
that
go.
there might be a cute girl that I can talk to. And last time I was there a year ago for the same fucking game, or maybe not, the Broncos for sure, I talked to this waitress and she was cute as hell, and I didn't have the courage to ask her for her number. We were
Well, that's
clicking
hard enough
too.
for you, motherfucker, because I'm bold.
Well, part of it was because she's way younger than me. I talked to her so much. I know she was like 15 years younger than me, and so I was going like, I could be
You.
possibly your dad. Hopefully not, but that happens.
Actually, my
But I'm like,
husband is 15 years older than me, so I shouldn't say that.
oh,
No,
but
that's
either way,
okay.
I'm thinking about it. I'm
But
thinking, but I'm
Don't
thinking
worry,
about
Chris.
it consciously, going, it'd be cool if I met someone, and it'd be cool if we're friends. Like, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
hook up with
at
this
this
chick.
point, I'm not like
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
When I was in my 20s, I thought, oh, there's so many. That's why I liked going out so much more. There are so many interesting people to meet, and there's so many, and everyone's different, and there's so many interesting. And now I don't think that way at all. I think most people are very very boring, and there's not really anyone interesting to me. I mean, that's just me. You two are very interesting. I'm happy I know you as people, and we have great conversations, and that's why we're conversing right now. But I don't feel that way about most people. So I'm never like, oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna meet some interesting, cool person. That is almost never the case. It's the case with you
When
two,
at the
but it,
same time,
It's always about
well, it's just,
content.
at
Like with
at
you,
the same
it's
time though.
content.
At the same time, I don't answer the phone at certain times, and neither do you guys, and it's all fine. Like, I don't care. I think 20 years ago, I might have been like, no, I probably wouldn't have, but I think a lot of people are like, they feel rejected, and I'm like, dude, I just have my own shit going on, and so do you. So
yeah,
I don't get upset.
busy doing
I mean, if you
something.
do,
I'll get back to you when
your
I
problem.
can, and
Yeah, it's not a
yeah,
big deal. But if I have a girlfriend, that's the thing in that song again. It's like, I don't have time for that shit, man. I don't have time to have a girlfriend right now, and I have all the time in the world.
You have
I
you have
do.
so much
I
we're
could
coming
time.
do.
about
You could
I
have a
could.
38
girlfriend.
minutes. You two can continue, and again, thank you so much for being with us tonight. And Coach Beeb, you want to send us off?
Yeah, we didn't actually initiate the episode, but thank you. Yeah, this is really good. I think going out, men versus women, and we'll continue it on to the next one. Happy day,
Thanks so much for
Remember, women
listening to
are
episode,
not
Loveline
whatever.
just
and
like objects,
Mahalo.
but people too.
What's that?
God. Remember, women aren't objects and like feet. Like we are people too. So
Well, men
What do
are
you
we're
mean
not
by
looking
that?
objects
out
either.
there.
Some
What do
women
you
treat
mean
us
by
like
that?
objects. Some women treat men like objects,
I was
clearly.
treated like an
So,
appliance. Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. That's the other thing too. Is like I was literally treated
Okay,
like an
so I
appliance.
did not
I
put
had a
that
use.
in. I didn't think about that.
I had a use like you pay me this money that I tell you. I inter I had to pay $200 for International Women's Day. International Women's Day. I had to pay for Mother's Day. You're not my mother. Every holiday. Like I got a little break during the summertime because there aren't as many holidays. 4th of July, thank God. But I had to do a barbecue. Had to come up with some stuff for a barbecue. Um, can you believe
Mhm.
that International Women's Day? And now people are quasi aware of it. I had to pay for International Women's Day like 15 years ago.
I'm so
Thank.
sorry. And like I am into like equal pay and women's rights, and I'm
Well,
sorry that you had to
all I'm
do
saying
that
is I was
because
treated like
like
an
I actually
appliance.
believe in equality for this. I feel like we should all be equal. Period.
Well, the
That's
only
it.
reason, you know how they keep bringing that up that women aren't paid as much as men? It's just because more CEOs are men and men are like, it's not like
I'm working in a boys' club right now, so be careful. They're getting paid a lot more than me right now. Um,
same job, same job.
well, kind of,
no.
but
Yeah,
kind of.
if it's the same job,
Dr.
they
Og,
almost
finish your point.
always make the same amount. That's all I'm
I
saying.
actually can't say like who I'm working for at all. I have an NDA, but like at the same point, I'm getting paid way less than the men in my field. Way
Same
less.
job.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's not right.
And no, it's not. It has been like this for a long time. But like that's where I see women's rights, like,
Well, I agree
you
with that.
know,
If you're doing the same work,
financially,
then you
of
should be
course.
paid the same.
It's like, okay, if you're doing the same work, you should get paid the same.
100%.
I mean, if you're going to boys' clubs meetings, yeah, you should be getting paid more because you're doing most of the work. So, yeah.
Wait,
For
more
me,
or the same?
I'm doing more work than any man that is in the field I'm in. Let's put it that
You're
way.
just choosing to do more work, but is it the same position? Because I do more. I've had hotel positions where I did more work than anybody, but I've been in a low position, so it makes sense that I don't make as
Yeah.
much. But like, let's say I was the
Right.
general manager of the
So,
hotel, then a
right.
woman general manager should make just as much as me. That's what I think. It should be the same.
I think that, like, for me, when I look at what other people are getting paid, which I can see, I'm like, wow, I should be making way more because I'm doing their work.
Yeah, but
They're
sometimes
not
people
What
doing.
get
is your
used
job?
though. That's a part of it
I
too.
can't actually discuss it, but like, I mean, working with this company now, and I like found out that people are getting paid $2,000 more every 2 weeks than I do.
And what is their position?
Consultants is usually their titles.
What's a consultant? You said.
Hmm.
And what is your position?
I'm their CPA.
Okay.
So yeah, it's different. It's
Okay.
like very
Okay.
different.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, you guys have a great one. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Doc. Good night, everybody.
Pleasure.